Good evening and welcome to the April Xolo Unified School District Board meeting. Thanks everyone for being here. Can I have I'm going to do the Pledge of Allegiance tonight, and Farrell Adams is going to do our invocation, and then we'll have an approval of our agenda. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our Heavenly Father, as we come before Thee this beautiful spring evening here in the White Mountains of Arizona, we give Thee thanks for the opportunity that we have to approve and make decisions based upon items that will benefit the youth of this area. We pray that our great youth will have desires to be kind, to help one another, and to serve. We pray that they'll have desires to improve their lives, and we pray that we'll make decisions to benefit those effects. We ask Thy Spirit in Thy direction tonight, and do so in the name of Thy beloved Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Can I have a motion for approval of the agenda?
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
So I have a motion and a second for the approval of the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 1.2, student highlight, high school spirit line and performers from 7 Brides for 7 Brothers. Mr. Adams.
Okay, we have 2 groups tonight that we are extremely proud of. Of course, we're proud of all of our groups, but we want to tout some things here tonight. First of all, I'd invite Deanne Cunningham and her cheerleading crew, and her assistant coach is Rachel LeLevier and Geraldine Walker. And if your Booster Club president, Megan, is here with you, all of you come on down. And I'd like to have Coach Cunningham, if you'll introduce your girls. And then after you do that, we're going to invite Mel West to play a video of the state championship. This is the state champion cheer team for the state of Arizona. So big hand for the Xolo High School Cougar state champion cheer. We don't want to be too long, so we got to move kind of quick, but we don't want to be so quick that we don't get to meet everybody.
Okay, easy. Geraldine Walker, one of my assistant coaches. Rachel's home with a sick baby, so go there. This is Emily Walker. She's a junior on the team.
Come by and shake everybody's hand.
Up here,
This way.
shake your. You too.
Just right in front. Go right in front, right here.
Jordan Zatar, also a junior on our team. Kylie Gilmore, also a junior on our team. Rachel Bucher, she's a freshman this year on our team. Abby Amp, a freshman on our team. Lainey Stock, she's a junior. Harley Simpson's a freshman. Hope Lutens is a freshman. Audrey Whipple was a freshman.
Congratulations.
Kenna Douglas,
Congratulations.
junior, going to be a senior next year. Lizzie,
Congratulations.
graduating and losing us.
Congratulations.
Miss Destiny,
Congratulations.
she's a freshman. Jill
Congratulations.
Gursky is a sophomore, and my lovely Peyton was a junior for our team. All super, super hardworking girls, and
Congratulations.
literally the best group of youth I've worked with in years.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
And at this time, Mel, if you can show the video while we're all here. That's what a state championship team looks like right there.
That is.
I'm
They've
sure the
worked
girls
hard.
can show some of those imperfections, but to me, it is perfect. Congratulations, coaches and
Why
girls.
don't you guys, it looks like
Thank you.
someone wants to get a picture. Why don't you guys come here and, so they can get a good picture of you as a squad? Yeah, right here, like in front of us, so that you're,
Face the audience.
face the audience, I guess, is what I'm trying to do. Do you want us to stand up behind, or what? I could see a couple cameras out there.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
You're
Coach.
welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
Next, we invite down Cynthia Whipple and part of our musical cast for the upcoming Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. 2 weeks from today, we'll be at the performance. So we invite anybody on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday night, April 27th through 30th, to be here at Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. Mrs. Whipple, you may have some other insights and cost and things like that.
Yeah, our Fine Arts Department is happy to present Seven Brides for Seven Brothers this year under the direction of Mr. Carson Celine. I am assisting as the music director. Mr. Pratt will be conducting as our orchestra director. We are so excited to have this show hit the stage. We've got about 60 kids in the cast, and they are having a blast. Tonight, we're going to do a little presentation for you. We have Nolan Jeffs and Elizabeth Bennett here. Nolan is playing Adam, and Lizzie is playing Millie. They are double casted, but they are here tonight to give you a little presentation. The performances are April 27th through April 30th. Each show will start at 7 p.m. each night. And on Saturday, we will be doing an additional 1 p.m. matinee. Tickets are $5 for students, $6 for senior citizens, and $8 for adults. And all tickets will be sold at the door. So we hope that everybody in the community and the school district will come out and support us. These kids have worked super hard, and it's an incredible show. We're going to turn a few minutes here to Adam and Millie with Bless Your Beautiful Hide.
Bless your beautiful hide wherever you may be. We ain't met yet, but I'm willing to bet you're the gal for me. Oh, it swapped my gun and it swapped my mule, though whoever took 'em would be one big fool. Or pay your way through cooking school if and you would say I do. My name's Adam Ponape.
Is it? That's an odd name, I must say, Mr. Thompson.
Adam,
Adam.
your pa sure works so hard.
Oh, Mr. Sanders is my father. Both my parents passed back out on the trail. Got a late start and got caught in the winter storms. I moved into town some months back.
All alone?
I can take care of myself.
Well, I can see that. Millie, rest a minute.
I got you this way.
Now listen to me, rest. I got a farm, a good farm. There's a house on it. There's timberland and high grazing meadows. There's sheep and no cows and 50 acres of wheat. The only thing it ain't got a woman. So how about it?
How about what?
How about marrying me? Billy, did you hear me?
Sure I did. I don't know anything about you, how you live and things.
Well, I know it's short notice. It would have been fitting to meet on a Sunday, leaving church. 6 months later, I'd ask you, could I walk you home? And then, for the next 2 or 3 years, I'd have sat in your front parlor every Wednesday night. And finally, I would ask your pa, could I marry you? At least that's the way my ma would have wanted me to do it. Around here, there ain't time. I gotta be back tonight to tend to my stock. It'll be another 5 months before I get down here after the harvest. You're not gonna keep a fellow waiting all that time just for a little Eastern boulder roll.
Well, I have to finish my chores first.
I knew the minute I laid eyes on you. You're the gal for me. Yeah!
That's not the way to propose.
But how can you miss that, Farrell? How can you miss that? We gotta see the rest of the
Recommend I was
story.
taking notes, but yeah. Stacy said, better not do that. Thank you, and I hope to see you at Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. Thank you.
Yeah, fantastic. Can't miss that. Can't miss that. All right. Item 1.3, invitation to board members to the 8th grade graduation ceremony at Xolo Junior High School. Megan Dorsey. Dr. Dorsey.
Yes, absolutely. So I've extended an invitation for you all to attend our promotion ceremony. I would love for you to come up on stage and help us award students. So I would love to see you all there. Thank you.
All right. Item 1.4, a statement of clarity for previous call to the audience. Tonight, there's none at this time. We'll leave that as an item, agenda item for previous board meetings in case we do have items of clarity in the future. Item 1.5, call to the audience. I believe tonight that we have 3. The first one will be Xolo Junior High FBLA.
Hi, I'm Jason Owens. I'm president of Xolo Junior High FBLA. This is Branham. He's the secretary. So last week we went to Tucson for our FBLA state competition. It was a really great learning experience for us. We had a lot of fun down there. First of all, I want to thank you all for letting us go to that, and I got to thank our advisors, Ms. Simmons and Ms. Carpenter, for supporting us all the way and helping us accomplish what we did down there. They were a really big help, and we couldn't have done it without them. So I'm going to start out with the events we placed in. We placed in 5 for our chapter. We placed 5th in our community service project. So for that, we helped out the Brackneys. So that was fun. For website design, Branham, Ethan, and I, we placed 4th in that. And you placed 3rd.
Intro to business.
Yeah, okay. Branham placed 3rd in intro to business. That's the medal right there. And I placed 2nd in the career exploration test and 3rd in career presentation project. So it took a lot of preparation to do all this and to accomplish what we did. We had a lot of fun. And actually the high school, I think 10 of them are going to nationals. They did a really good job. So we're super excited to go there next year. And actually, the Xolo Junior High FBLA, it's definitely prepared us to go on to the high school FBLA. Actually, I'm the only 8th grader, but I know it's helping them, and I'm definitely prepared to go there. So this is a card we made for the award.
Thank you very much, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Come on up, young man. You get to shake your hand, too. Congratulations.
Good job, buddy. Yeah, you guys need to go around the whole circle.
Okay.
Future business manager.
That works.
Can't forget you guys.
Congratulations.
Great job.
Thank you, young man. I'm sure that Mr. Adams is looking forward to having you at the high school and for the rest of the junior high group, that as they move up through the years there, that they move on to the high school and compete at that high school level. And I'm sure we'll be hearing about the high school FBLA as
Main
they
meeting, yeah.
finish their competition and so forth, because I know they have different levels than they do at the junior high. All right, our next one, call the audience, is Alicia Phillips.
Thank you. It's so neat to see these kids. This is the best part of our job. I do miss education a lot, but Madam President, members of the board, I'm the program coordinator for NCDP. Blue Ridge probably gets tired of seeing me sometimes, but we have some really cool events coming up that we'd like to ask your participation. We're doing an underage drinking town hall. Now this event is going to be super cool because we have both Xolo and Blue Ridge school districts involved in it this year. Xolo High School kids are going to be talking on teen court, and Blue Ridge will be speaking on SAD and the empowered group we run. We have Xolo Police Department, Chief Shelley and Detective Vuhal will be talking on the social hosting potentials that could happen if you have one of those delightful parties in your homes. And then Pine Top Lakeside Police Department will be talking about DUIs and the consequences for youth. So that's on the 28th, and we put it kind of in a neutral spot at the Hampton Inn, and it's from 6 to 7:30. So if you could attend, that would be awesome, and if we could get this promoted, it'd be wonderful. And I left cards with you. Okay, the next item is, and I'm going to be a very impartial person with this, competition between Blue Ridge and Xolo. It's the shoe drive, and we have the junior high and high schools on board, and any old shoes you have, and we told the kids, please make sure you ask your mom and dad before you take their shoes. But this program, there's boxes, I know, at the junior high, high school, and then we have them at the middle school and high school as well. There are boundaries. I did ask about boundaries. Anything this way from Home Depot, that's Xolo's deal. You get that. Anything on up from Home Depot up towards Pine Top, after Home Depot, that will be for Blue Ridge. However, I am out in the community a lot, so I could look at your boxes, but I'm just teasing. So, but this money supports the Junior Leadership Academy that we run in the summertime. And that money, and this program has, oh gosh, they've collected over $11,000 over the years. We use the probation department to help us tie shoes. I know our Junior Leadership Academy kids also help tie the shoes as well. I also put some cards up on with you. There are these cards, I think they have Dave Clark and a parent. Those cards are for parents, to give to parents and to educators. I know I've dropped them off at the various schools. And it's just to teach parents to educate kids about the dangers of the recreational marijuana, and to educate staff, because this is potentially on the ballot in November, and we really need to get the word out on that. And lastly, we're going to try this again at Megan's school. The day we were supposed to do the Not My Kid self-image was the day that we had the lockdown. So and you guys, I have to commend your staff. They did a fabulous job the day of the lockdown. I thought that you had a different drop-off system than my previous school. I went, wow, they have the law involved when you drop kids off. This is so cool. But then to come to find out when I walked in, that wasn't the case. But that will be on April 29th, beginning at 7:45. So we'll have 3 different performances, and if you could make that at her school, that would be wonderful as well. So that's it for me. So we hope to see you on the 28th. Could I leave these to post in the district office at all?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Give them to Ms. Kim Seals right over there, and she'll take care of that. Thank you very much. And Mr. Kenny Kale.
You better think about that. But we do.
Board President Pam Lazardi and members of the board. I want to go over a timeline of events that occurred on 3/7/15. I sent an email announcing my intention to end my employment with the Xolo School District. At 8:50, the school intercom asked me to report to the office. Where I went into the office, Mr. Borton was sitting there. He addressed me by saying, "You've made a big mistake." There was an abnormally long pause, which I took to mean that he was trying to intimidate me. Mr. Borton says, "You didn't follow district policy." Borton then says, "You need to submit a printed, dated, signed letter which indicates the date I intend to resign." I say, "I'll get it to you after second hour." At 9:45, which is the end of second hour, I arrived. I delivered the letter of resignation following board policy. Mr. Borton says to me, "We don't need the letter. The district decided that they don't need it." I tell him, "This is my resignation," and I place it on his desk. I don't know why you don't have it on file, or apparently have ever used my letter of resignation, but on 3/10, I found out you don't have it in my personnel file. But I had the right to resign, and it was taken from me. I was an administrator for 6 years, and I don't know how a district can demand to follow board policy and within an hour tell me that they don't have to. I hear the need for transparency and communication is important to you, but I've been informed the district will not meet with me to communicate. I must rely on your lawyers, who have not responded to the union lawyers' questions that were given August 31st. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Kim, can you make sure that Mr. Kale gets another copy of the letter sent from the attorney on August the 31st, in reference to the August 31st? All right, item 1.6, discussion on required class projects and associated costs to students. Becky Clark.
Just kidding. I have to hold it down the whole time. Okay. So previously, the board directed the administrative team to examine the class projects and assignments that were being handed out and associated costs to students and families, which we did. So we just wanted to report back to you tonight on that issue. We recognize that changing this overall practice might take some time, and we're committed to that for the following school year. We also wanted to let you know that we recognize that a change to from project-based learning to problem-based learning might take some of that cost away from families. And we also wanted to let you know that we recognize that this creates a disparity between students who might not be able to afford to complete projects with students who have greater means. And we recognize that mastery of learning should be based on what the students know, not maybe what they can make or produce. So we just wanted to follow up with you and let you know that those practices are being considered for next school year.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Item 1.7, future board agenda items.
I have two.
Okay,
And would it be possible to have the Xolo Police Department come next month and give us a recap of the lockdown, what happened that day, how everything went? Just kind of feel
Lessons learned.
yeah, there go lessons learned. And the other thing is if Greg could give us a budget comparison for next year, if Proposition 123 passes, what difference that will make in our budget.
Joy, do you have anything? Brian? Okay. All right, I'll make sure those two items get added. Thank you, Stacy. Item 2.1, approval of overnight and out-of-state travel. Mr. Adams?
We would present the out-of-state and overnight travels as written and ask for your approval, please.
I make a motion for approval of overnight and out-of-state travel as written.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for approval of overnight and out-of-state travel. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 2.2, approval of high school 2017 spring break soccer trip. Mr. Adams?
I would ask again for your approval of this trip as presented to you and written. Thank you.
I make a motion for the approval of the high school 2017 spring break soccer trip.
I'm going to second that.
I have a motion and a second for the approval of the 2017 spring break soccer trip. Do I have any further discussion? I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 2.3, approval of 2016-17 District Prop 301 Teacher Compensation Plan. Becky Adams.
You mean Clark?
It says Becky Adams
It's
on here,
okay.
sorry. Becky Clark.
You have in your board book a copy of the approved District 301 plan. It was created by a teacher leadership team. A draft was taken to the admin team. Some modifications were made. We took it back to the teacher leadership team. They created a final version, which the staff saw and approved by a margin of 96%. And so it's there for your approval.
I make a motion for approval of the 2016-2017 District Proposition 301 Teacher Compensation Plan.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for the approval of the 2016-17 Prop 301 Teacher Compensation Plan. Do I have any further discussion?
I wanted to ask, did all of the teachers respond to that?
They were all presented with the plan. Some chose not to vote,
Okay.
so that's
But
their
everybody
decision.
had a chance.
Everybody had a chance
Everybody-
at their school site.
I would like to say that I like the fact that there's a community communication piece in there this year. I really like that. So I have a motion and a second for the approval of the plan. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 2.4, discussion of high school AP course required reading.
So this is another follow-up item. The board previously had brought some concerns regarding the required reading list for AP high school students, and so this is just going to be a follow-up to that. We wanted to let you know that for the following school year, the English department at Xolo High School, under the direction of Mr. Adams and myself, have worked to create a list of these novels that might come up and a brief synopsis and sort of like a movie rating, if you will, so that the parents and students can make their own decisions about what they would like to read, what they would like to have their student read, and that will be provided in the course syllabus starting next year.
I have a motion for the AP. Oh, no action required, okay. Item 2.5, clarification of the 2016 Xolo Junior High School student fees. Dr. Dorsett?
Yes, so we gathered together and have decided as a staff that we will be moving to a 7-period day next year and getting rid of the AB schedule. So traditionally, the AB schedule requires one fee per semester, but the course is every other day, so it's like a quarter-long course. So I wanted to provide with our change of schedule an additional clarification that the fees will be quarterly to cover the costs of the course, since the electives will be semester-long now.
All right, so no action required on that as well. Item 2.6, thank you, Dr. Dorsett. Item 2.6, approval of additional courses to the Xolo Junior High School course content. Dr. Dorsett.
Okay, so with the 7-period day, we will be offering a composition course in order to help prepare kids write to text and, you know, getting through the Arizona Merit, they have to read long passages and write to those passages, and we want to help them be successful at that. So that is an addition. We have some other clarifications and additions that are not too new. Some of them are recycled from the past content course book. They are all highlighted in that course manual. If you have any questions, I would be happy to answer any of those, but I would request that you approve some addendum.
I make a motion for the approval of additional courses to the Xolo Junior High School course content book 2016-2017 school year.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Go on to 3.1. Approval of terminations and resignations and retirements. Greg Schubert.
Tonight, we bring before you 2 resignations and 1 retirement as listed for your approvals.
I'll motion.
A sec.
Oh.
Good, Brian.
You good? Second.
I have a motion and a second for 2 resignations and 1 retirement. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 3.2, approval of new hires and transfers. Greg Schubert.
Tonight, we bring before you for your approval 5 new hires and 3 transfers as listed.
I make a motion for approval of new hires and transfers as listed.
Second.
I have a motion and second of approval of new hires and transfers. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 3.3, approval of substitutes. Greg Schubert.
Tonight, we bring before you one certified, one classified substitute as listed for your approval.
So moved.
Second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 3.4, approval of stipends, volunteers, and event workers. Greg Schubert.
Tonight, we bring before you the one stipend as listed for your approval.
All motion we approve.
Second the motion.
I have a motion and a second for approval of stipend of volunteer and event workers. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 3.5, approval of position change for the high school CTE NAVIC Career Tech. Mr. Adams.
We're presenting to have our NAVIC Career Tech, which is currently a 12-month contract, go to a 10-month contract.
Oh,
We ask, present that as written here.
I make a motion for the approval of position change for the high school NAVIC program.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for approval of position change for the high school CTE NAVIC Career Tech. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 3.6, approval of summer school teachers. Mr. Greg Schubert.
Tonight, we bring before you a listing of teachers paid out of grant money for our summer school summer school teachers, excuse me. These are there for your approvals.
So moved.
Second the motion.
I have a motion and a second for approval of summer school teachers. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 3.7, approval of administrators/supervisors for 2016-17 school year. Mr. Schubert.
In preparation for contracts to be sent out, we have provided you a list of all administrators and supervisors that we plan on issuing those to, and we bring those to you for your approvals.
Make a motion to approve our administrators and supervisors for the 2016-17 school year.
Second the motion.
I have a motion and a second for approval of administrators/supervisors for the 2016-2017 school year. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 3.8, approval of certified staff for the 2016-17 school year.
Same as 3.7, except for these ones are certified, all for your approvals.
All motion we approve.
I'll second the motion.
I have a motion and a second for approval of certified staff for the 2016-2017 school year. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 3.9, approval of classified staff for the 2016-2017 school year. Mr. Greg Schubert.
Same as the previous two, except for these ones are classified, here for your approvals.
Make a motion to approve our classified employees.
I second the motion.
I have a motion and a second for approval of classified staff for the 2016-2017 school year. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 3.10, approval of ESI staff for 2016-2017 school year. Greg Schubert.
Yeah, this should come as no shock, but this will be the same as the previous three, except for this is for our ESI staff.
I make a
Bring these to
motion.
you for your approvals.
I make a motion for the approval of ESI staff for the 2016-2017 school year.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for ESI staff for 2016-2017 school year. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And just as a side note, Ms. Lazardi, now that these are approved contracts for certified and administrators will be going out tomorrow.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Mr. Schubert. Item 4.1, approval of final viewing and adoption of the listed policies. Please make sure that when you make this motion that you include the exceptions listed in the motion listed below.
Make a motion to approve the final viewing and adoptions of the policies listed, including option A for policy GCQF.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the final viewing and adoption of the policies presented with the,
Do you want to do the other, there are 3 other exceptions there.
Well, we've got a motion for the first one, so we'd have to go through the first one and then do the other two.
So I have a motion and a second for the final approval of policy GCQF with option A. Any further discussion on that one? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That final viewing is approved. So I need another motion for the other three exceptions and the final viewing and adoption of the rest of the policies.
So motion.
I'll second the motion.
So I have a motion and a second. A motion and approval of final viewing and adoption of all the policies as presented with the following exceptions. Tabling the approval of policy JK due to the first viewing of the same policy in policy advisory number 549. Approval and adoption of policy IKF retaining the PE requirement listed separately from other electives. And the approval and adoption of policy KDB-R retaining the copy fee of 10 cents and 35 cents. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 4.2, approval of first viewing. Requesting, go ahead.
I make a motion for the approval of first viewing of policies as listed.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for the approval of first viewing of 4 updated policies. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 5.1, approval of special service consortium membership agreement. This is a contract with Navajo County for OT services for 144 days.
Beth, are you in charge of this? Can I ask you a question? They give us two different recommendations. One's for a 4-day week and one's for a 5-day week. Do you? No.
It should be, the form I filled out was the agreement sheet with the days, with the daily rate.
Just gave two different.
You know what, I bet
just-
some of, so they service schools all over Navajo and Apache County. And maybe if some of those schools are on a 4-day
4-day.
work week, that's the differences.
So we do the 5-day week?
We do the
too?
5-day.
Okay. All right.
And
Thank
she's
you.
basically here 4 days a week with us.
All right, thanks. I'll make a motion for approval of special services membership agreement.
Second.
So I have a motion and a second for the approval of the special service membership agreement. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The consent agenda. Mr. Schubert.
So tonight, we bring before you for your approvals, the ratification of our expense vouchers, payroll vouchers to junior high and high school activities, revenues and expenditures, the food service revenues and expenditures, approval of transfers of funds, approval of the governing board minutes for the special meeting of February 9th, 2016, the regular meeting of March 10th, 2016, the special meeting on April 2nd, 2016, and the regular meeting on March 12th, 2015, which is the spelling correction for Mr. Kale's name. 6.7, approval of the following donations. Donation of 52 flat screen monitors, 10 keyboards, 6 computer mice, and 6 laptop bags from an anonymous donor to Xolo Junior High School. Donation of 22 Nabi NS2 pallets to Whipple Ranch Elementary PTSO to the first and second grades, value of $2,400. Materials for the construction of 2 brick dugouts for the junior varsity softball field from Xolo Youth Recreation Sports Foundation, a value of $5,400. Labor, materials, equipment for the construction of the 2 dugouts and storage for the junior varsity softball field at from Isaac's Concrete, a value of $6,500. $2,000 donation from Xolo Youth Recreation Sports Foundation to help 5th grade students at Nicholas Homestead Elementary at 10C Camp in San Diego. $1,000 donation from the Xolo Youth Recreation Sports Foundation to help 5th grade students at Nicholas Homestead Elementary attend the Sky Y Camp. $351 donation from the Xolo Youth Recreation Sports Foundation to purchase a music stand storage cart for Nicholas Homestead Elementary. $1,000 donation from the Xolo Youth Recreation and Sports Foundation to purchase volleyball posts for outside playground at Nicholas Homestead Elementary. There's kind of a theme going on here. $1,200 donation from the Xolo Youth Recreation and Sports Foundation to fund the 4th grade field trip to the Grand Canyon for Nicholas Homestead Elementary. $1,000 donation for clay, glaze, and ceramic tools from the Xolo Youth Recreation and Sports Foundation to the Xolo High School Art Department. We bring these all for you for your approvals.
So moved.
I second the motion.
I have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as listed. Any further discussion?
I'd just like to say thank you. Again and again, we see all these generous donations to our school district. And I know the Xolo Youth Foundation gave quite a bit of money to all our booster clubs to help our schools also, so.
I'd like to second that. Thank you as well. Some generous donations there. So we have a motion and a second for all of our consent agenda and generous donations. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I believe we just need a motion for an adjournment.
So motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for adjournment. Any further discussion?
Thank you.
Motion carries. I have 2 items that I'd like to just shout out to our public. On May the 4th, Jalen, our district superintendent, county superintendent, will be giving a talk about school board service and the steps that you need to take if you are interested. And where will that be held?
At the junior high school library.
At the Xolo High School Library, if you're interested. That will, again, will be on May the 4th. Thank you very much.